Hi guys! Today I'm really excited to show you how to make one of my favorite mugs, and I am a mug-aholic. I absolutely love myself a good mug. They're my favorite things to buy from other potters. I just find there's a really intimate connection in making a mug and having someone handle it and drink out of it. It's very personal for most people. Everyone has a particular style or type of mug or a particular kind of handle that they love, and so it makes it a really fun project to make as well. Despite the fact that you have to attach handles, which is sometimes my nemesis. I love making quick and easy pots, and the fact that there's a several step process to making a mug and completing a mug is not always feeling as productive for me in the studio, but I do love this new style of mug that I've come up with recently because it has a design element, and I'm not a potter who loves to glaze. It's really my least favorite part of the whole process. I love to make work and trim work and finish work, but if I could find a partner who would come in and glaze for me, it would be a dream come true. So, and I've always said that. My students know that about me, but I'm finding ways lately of being more creative in my own personal workspace to make glazing more enjoyable for myself. And so recently I've been looking at a lot of other potters' work and looking at design elements and just looking at the world around me in a different way and incorporating some of those things into my making process. So I'm going to show you today how to make something that's going to end up resulting looking like this. And so this is a nice translucent green glaze, but the size of the mug, as you can see, is kind of big. Those are my favorite to make. I love drinking a good mug of tea or hot cocoa in the winter. I'm not a coffee fan, but I really like a big mug. So this design element here is what I'm going to show you to add to your work, and it can be used on any form. It doesn't have to be a mug. It could be a bowl, a plate. I've used it and translated it in many different ways, and it's something I'm finding a lot of fun. So let's get started. I'm using just over a pound of clay here. So I'm going to center this guy up. And usually a pound and a half or a pound and a quarter of clay will make a good size mug, will result in a really nice size mug, even after the shrinking process happens from drying and firing. So because I want to keep these more on the upright size, I'm going to keep the diameter here a little narrower and then go ahead and dig my hole. And I'm throwing cylinders for these guys, so I'm using the tips of my fingers to press straight down, and then the whole blade of the finger to pull that hole open so I can get back inside and work on it. Use a sponge here to clean up some of this clay that's not really part of my form. I like a nice clean work surface when I'm making. And then I'll use my fingers on the right-hand side of the pot, as always, to draw the walls up, or raise or lift that clay up. And I've got a little bit of a flaw in this guy. It might have resulted from an air bubble or some other such thing. Poor wedging on my part. Any number of things can cause little flaws in the clay. I'm going to see if I can work around it and make this guy happen anyway. Clean up the inside and probably try to come up maybe one more time. And I'm going for sort of a cylindrical shape here, so I'm not really looking for anything fancy. And these size mugs will usually hold anywhere from 10 to 12, sometimes 14 ounces. The really big guys I like to make will hold closer to 2 cups. Let's do a final sweep inside, cleaning up the rim. And then I'll come back with my little chamois tool, which I'm in love with, and just make a nice smooth lip on this pot. It's really important for me on mugs to spend some extra time on the lips, since other people's lips are going to be making contact with it eventually. And then I'll go back around with my angled knife so I can take this piece off the wheel after the final step. Do a little bit of undercut here to set myself up for a nice foot at the trimming stage. And also let the wire run under the pot a little bit easier. And then I'm going to use my Cheryl mud tool here, which is my favorite. I really like the red ones because they're nice and bendy. Just to get the slip off the outside of this piece so I can add my underglaze here, which is going to help me create that nice design element later. Just one more swipe to the rim. And then I'm ready for my underglaze application, which is the black that you see underneath the design. So my underglaze of choice recently has been Speedball. It comes in a variety of colors. It works for cones 0, 6, all the way up to cone 6, and I fire at cone 5, so the colors stay nice and vibrant. It works just really nicely. You can apply it at any stage of the game, whether the pot is wet, whether it is leather hard, whether it's bone dry, or bisque fired. So I like the versatility of it quite a bit. And it's really consistent. So I've got some in a cup here with a nice brush already. And I'm going to pick the segment of the pot that I want to put my stripes on. The one I showed you had 2 different stripes, but I think we're just going to stick with one on this guy. And certainly you could coat the entire pot with a color like this, and then go back and carve through and have a really intricate design, but I like to limit myself a little bit so that one mug doesn't take me 5 hours to complete. And then I'm ready to take this guy off the wheel. So a little bit of water, just to run my wire, get that pot to slide free, and transfer him onto a tile. So as I've talked about before, I like to use these nice floor tiles. I can fit 9 mugs on a tile like this. So I'm just going to continue on in the journey to complete all these pieces of clay I have lined up for myself. And in a later video, I will show you how I trim the pot and also add the design and then how I glaze. So I hope you enjoyed this. Keep watching. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.